There was sufficient public participation preceding the process. Appearing before Parliament's Agriculture Committee on Tuesday, Kagwe indicated that all procurement laws had been followed, urging the political class to allow investors to take over the mills. And as Laura Otieno reports, the government has dissolved the boards of the leased sugar mills, paving the way for the leasees to manage operations.
As the heat turns up over the leasing of 4 public sugar mills, the government has now dissolved the boards of the factories, paving way for the full takeover of operations by investors. In a Gazette notice published on Monday, President William Ruto revoked the appointments of Engineer John Nyambok, Alfred Kangati and Jared Odhiambo as chairpersons of the boards of Chemelil, Nzoia and Sony sugar companies. This comes at the backdrop of opposition from a section of legislators who decried lack of public participation.
Things are being done overnight. I think some of these factories have been handed over the weekend. I don't see what is the rush if everything you're doing is above board.
30 years of leasing for what? How do we know if they don't end up using the land? How about the agrochemical factory that is within that region? So where are these workers that are agrochemical going to go?
Agriculture CS Mutahi Kagwe has poured cold water on the claims, insisting that all procurement laws had been followed. Kagwe calling on the political class to allow the investors to run the mills, saying structures have been put in place to handle any disputes as and when they arise.
There is no rose that doesn't have a thorn. So none of those in the keyboards and so, they're not perfect. Nobody is proposing that they are perfect people. But at least they pay their farmers per week. And I'd rather have somebody who is giving me 10 shillings than somebody who is promising me 100 shillings.
The Ministry of Agriculture had further laid out a staggered payment plan of the 5.6 billion shillings owed to sugar factory workers to be paid until 30th June 2026, saying that the debts will solely be settled by the national government and not the new investors taking over the mills. Laura Otieno, Citizen TV.